Okay, I'll admit it, I am cheap and I love the thrill of a garage sale hunt. And those things kind of mixed together make me a bit of a recycler. I love to recycle usable things that once were maybe purposed for something else and repurposed now into my garden. Okay, so my first one is not that weird. It is quite common for people to find pallets to repurpose in the garden. They're often repurposed into gardening beds, and I have done that one. It wasn't a great experiment. I found that they fell apart much too quickly, so they weren't great as a gardening bed, but I repurposed this one into a table. And it all started with that chair in the back that I got at a garage sale, and I got it for a wicked bargain of about 20 bucks. It's nice and sturdy. So then I was like, I need a table to sit at, but I'm not spending any more money. I had a pallet laying around, which I got for free, and I had lots of buckets. And I know the buckets aren't overly attractive, but with all the stuff, and in the summertime, I have it full of plants. So really, you don't see a lot of the stuff underneath. You see more plants than anything else. It kind of makes for a really nice little table. My next one is mineral bins. These guys are recycled from a farm that got minerals to feed to their cattle, and then I'm able to repurpose them into planters. Now, I'm known to repurpose just about anything into a planter. I think right now I've got a couple of weird things. I'll show you a couple of other things that are repurposed into planters. This was an experiment. We did a video on this guy. We took just some dollar store laundry baskets and turned them into multi-level planters. Honestly, don't recommend it. Save the money. They aren't great planters. They dry out really fast. Have a video on these guys. We repurposed pools. We used to use pools for ducks. I have a funny story. I bought too many pools by accident on sale and ended up with these extra pools. So I turned them into planters. I cut out the bottoms on them. There's an entire video on that. But also you will see I've got blue mineral bins. So it kind of turned into this cool area that is our blue garden. And at one time or another, this was actually made up of 3 drawers from a dresser. So we had a dresser that fell apart, and the drawers were constructed somewhat better than the dresser. So I used them to plant in, and it worked good for about 2 years, but then they fell apart. This is the remnants of said drawers. This one falls under not so weird and might be a bit more common, but sheets, old sheets. And I actually like using fitted sheets because they fit the square beds really nicely. You can take them, this one's gotten a bit ripped, but it'll still be fine. So a fitted sheet works nice because it kind of attaches around the corners and fits really well, holds tight when you get a bit of wind as well. And that's the flat sheet. You have to use something to put on the sides or just a couple of bricks to keep it down. All right, the next item is getting a little weirder. So not overly weird. What you're looking at here is mesh. Mesh is kind of a common thing, except for the fact that this mesh actually came from a tent that broke and got ripped and was no longer usable. So I thought before I throw away the whole tent, I'd cut out the mesh material to be repurposed into the garden. And mesh works really good as kind of a soft frost cover, and as well as protecting against bugs. So you can really do a good job of keeping the holes off of your brassicas. So how's my weirdness level right now? Not so bad? Let's keep going. The next one is blinds. Seems really odd, but blinds make fantastic plant markers. They're made for the sun, for sitting in your window for long periods of time and not getting super brittle. This one was actually used last year and it's still good. The ink color will fade a bit, and that's no problem because I actually want it to fade by the end of the season so I can write on top of it. The next one is styrofoam coolers. They make really great hydroponic systems. You can fill them with water, cut out the top and put in a couple of cups that fit, and they grow really great throughout the summer. I actually had a kale survive through the absolute heat and had a massive root system, but it survived here throughout the entire summer. I got lucky and got this one in particular. Somebody had a meat order from a company and posted it on Facebook. Can anybody use it? So that's how I got this cooler. I think you can sometimes buy them, but I would try to recycle them for somebody. On to one of the weirdest things that I've recycled in the garden. Our old Shop-Vac vacuum cleaner broke down. The engine wore out. It died. Couldn't find a use for the top, but I was able to take the bottom and turn it into a planter. I spray painted it black. The paint didn't stay on. That didn't work out, but nonetheless, it's still a very functional little planter. It's great because it's on wheels. So when I put something heavy in it, I just have to roll it around. but that's probably the weirdest thing I've recycled into the garden. So I'd love to hear from you guys what you've recycled into your gardens. I love more ideas and things that I should be hunting for when I'm going garage sailing, but let me know in the comments down below what kind of things you are finding and recycling into your gardens. Awesome, you guys. Well, that's it. Be friendly, be kind.